I'm Forrest Saunders standing in front of the state capitol. There is no doubt about it. Condo owners say they are in the midst of a crisis with high costs, and they think a special session might help drive them down. But at the moment, Florida's governor, the House, and the Senate can't seem to agree on what exactly to do. The stories keep coming from Florida's coast.
It's going to put a pinch on I think, a lot of people that have fixed incomes.
Condo owners frustrated with rising costs.
Since I've been here since about 2010, my condo fee was around $250. Now it's $670.
And they can't sell them for the same reason.
I've had 10 showings, and when I've done about 30 open houses, nobody appears to come to see the properties.
The problem, still rising property insurance rates and new rules following that Surfside collapse. They require condos gather costly repair funds and do regular maintenance.
This is ridiculous that people are going to be placed in these predicaments.
Governor Ron DeSantis said this week he still wants a special session to offer fixes and has backed zero-interest loans or delaying deadlines. But at the moment,
I don't know that there's an agreement on exactly what needs to happen, because I said, look, if we have agreement, I'll call the session and we'll go. But I do think we need to act sooner rather than later, and so we're going to be working with the legislature on that.
While Florida waits, the problem compounds. Data from market analysts show condo supply keeps growing, prices dropping, sales diminishing. In Tampa alone, the number of condos for sale soared 57.2% from a year earlier in July. Florida's major metros show HOA fees up more than 15% year over year.
I have heard the call for a special session on condos just like the rest of us have.
New House Speaker Danny Perez remains cold on the idea of an early return. Sources tell us he doesn't want to dramatically unwind the changes made post-Surfside.
The question shouldn't be when. The question should be what. What is the solution that people are offering to the issue before condos? It's an issue we'll be discussing during session.
The Senate president equally chilly, saying it would likely be something they'd tackle in March.
The answer is yes. The goal is to dig in very deeply and heavily on this.
And fresh off a listening tour with constituents, the Senate Minority Leader Jason Pizzo is mulling ideas, though he too is wary of dramatically easing new requirements.
People think there was Champlain and nothing else, but 26 buildings have been condemned since Surfside's collapse, primarily in South Florida, where people are no longer allowed to go back to.
And
one in my old district.
Is that proof that the bill's working? I mean, is that saving lives?
Sure, absolutely.
Pizzo thinking about creating a uniform standard for condo repair assessments. He thinks that'll ensure they're not bloated with millions in unnecessary cost.
When you're seeing another association of mine in Hallandale with a $51 or $52 million pending assessment, and there's a separate line item for pool furniture, that's not what we meant about keeping buildings structurally safe, right?
The ideas are there, the frustration certainly there, but whether lawmakers will be here before March remains to be seen. Now, DeSantis said he'd also support special sessions on other topics, things like immigration or hurricane relief. But again, he's going to need a consensus from the House and the Senate leadership to make any of those things happen. And time is running out to do so, given that regular session is now just a few weeks away. That's the latest out here at the state capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.